This is The Runwave, candid chats with real runners about topics that affect the running community. This show is sponsored by Midstrike Magazine, the first diverse digital running magazine. Use code TheRunwave to save 20% off of your magazine subscription. Visit midstrikemagazine.com for more details. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Runwave podcast. I am your host, Kim. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the show. If you are a return listener, welcome back to the podcast. I appreciate you tuning into the show week after week. If you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe to my email list. If you go to therunwave.com and there will be a pop-up that flashes on your screen, just put in your email address and subscribe to the list. I promise I will not add you to any other list or send you any spam. You will just get a notification each and every time I upload a new show so you do not miss any Runwave content. Also, be sure to follow the Runwave on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I always post a new episode on Instagram, so I know that's like the quickest way to get news these days. So make sure you're following the show on all social networks. On today's show, I have LA-based runner, entrepreneur, Angel. She is the founder of Set the Tone. I am a customer. I have her beautiful candles here. And we just talked about her journey into running, why she decided to start a business, a candle business in particular. It is February. It's Black History Month. So I wanted to highlight some Black runners who are also entrepreneurs. And first up is Angel. So let's get into it. Please welcome to the Runway podcast, runner and entrepreneur, Angel. She is the founder of Set the Tone. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. Just trying to multitask today, but it's all right.
The life of a woman, small business owner, entrepreneur. I get it. Yeah. So I know you're based on the West Coast in the Los Angeles area. How long have you lived there?
All my life. I'm from South Central Los Angeles, born and raised.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So what was that like growing up in South Central?
It wasn't common. It was a little different. You know, in my family, you have every span of person. I'll just put it like that. Every level, socioeconomic level. And so you just had to adapt in most cases. Well, I had to adapt and choose which way I wanted to go, basically. Yeah.
Are you still in the same area? Because I know people think of Los Angeles, but there's like so many different like pockets of LA. So everyone isn't like what we see on TV and
right. Yeah. Right now I'm not in South Central. I'm actually in Inglewood, but my family is still in South Central. Yeah.
Okay. Inglewood. Did you watch that show on HBO? What was it called? The Sweet Life?
I didn't. No. I don't really watch too much TV.
You sound like my friend Danya. I have to tell her about all the shows. But there was this show on HBO. It was called The Sweet Life. It was based off a bunch of like late 20s, early 30s Black entrepreneurs, business people, just regular people. And they were in Inglewood, and watching them in Inglewood, they made, it showed a different side of LA. Right. And it made me want to visit Inglewood, the next time I come out there. So what is it like for you in Inglewood?
I like it. I mean, honestly, I chose this location because it's central to everything that I do. Like our run club is in Inglewood, and it's close to my job. It's close. It allows me to like function better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what is the makeup of Inglewood? Is it majority Black?
From what I can tell, it's very diverse. right
Okay.
now, it's very much diverse. You can walk on any corner and see multiple races. Yeah. Majority
That's
Black, but it's very diverse right now. Yeah.
that's interesting and good to hear because when I think of Inglewood or the Wood back in the day, that movie, you think of it as being mostly a predominantly Black neighborhood. So is it
Yeah.
like did it used to be predominantly Black and it's like getting gentrified now or
Honestly, it's the gentrification. Yeah.
yeah.
It used to be majority Black, but LA is very expensive. So even surrounding areas and to be able to afford certain areas is not as accessible at the moment.
Hmm.
So people are moving in who did not used to be here. Yeah.
Hmm. So you're from Inglewood. What do you do professional wise as like your day job, if you have a day job?
I do, even though people don't usually think I do. I actually work I actually work in human resources. So that's what I do in the day. I do a lot of stressful work, multitasking, dealing with a lot of people. And like for me, I'm honestly an introvert. So my job really like takes a lot out of me energy
Hmm.
wise because I'm always having to deal with multiple types of people all day. So I like my job, but it can be a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So what do you do to like relieve some of that stress in your
And
downtime
that
when you're not at work?
right. And so that's when the running and the candle making come into the category because running is like my time. Like I don't have to like rely on anyone. It's just my solid time to myself. Obviously with people, but it's personal to me on a multiple levels. And then the candle making, that's a stress reliever. Like candle making is very chill. It's fun. I like it. So those are the two things I rely on outside of work.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about your running. When did you get started in like I call it recreational long distance running?
Right. Well, I started running 2000, probably like 2016, 2015, around there. And honestly, because of mental health, like I was a little depressed. I was going through some things that counseling wasn't necessarily fulfilling that void. So I
Hmm.
was started to just run. And so that was like running. I don't know about anybody else, but when I run, I kind of like am able to like process my thoughts a little bit better, get my mind clear. So that's what I started doing. And I was running by myself. Like back then, I didn't have any run clubs. I wasn't really on social media at all until like late, time went by. But yeah, running was very personal in the beginning. I didn't run races. Like it was nothing. I didn't care about medals or anything like that. It was very
Hmm.
personal. Yeah.
So how did you discover running? Did you hear about it from a friend? Did you just decide to go out and start running one day? What was
Well,
your
like
path toward it?
with my job, we usually they partner with a lot of nonprofits, and with those, there's like local 5Ks, and I would join every year the local breast cancer walk. So I would just walk. I wasn't running at that time, so I would just
Hmm.
join every year, and I would go with my coworkers, and we'd just walk the 5K, and that was just once a year. And then eventually, I was like, well, I want to start running. I don't want to
Hmm.
walk. So I started walking and running by myself, like after work, sometimes or on Saturday mornings. Yeah. So that's kind of how I kind of got into running a little bit.
Hmm. So you mentioned you're a part of a run crew. What crew is that?
I am part of Keep It 100, and it's based in Inglewood. And I've been with Keep It 100 5 years so far. Yeah.
Nice. So how did you discover them? Was that like your
Well,
foray into running races and
yeah,
all of that?
honestly, like it kind of kick started like the chaos, the running
Hmm.
chaos. Actually, my friend, who I met in grad school, he invited me to Keep It 100 on a Tuesday night, and I didn't know the founder. I didn't know Butter at all. I didn't know anyone at the run club besides my friend who brought me. And so once I came on that Tuesday night, I never left. And within that first year, I ran a marathon, a half marathon. I was like, I found something that I actually liked that was outside of working, outside of my career. And that's when I really, 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 that was in 2018. And that's when I really was like, okay, I think I like this and I'm going to keep on doing it. And I haven't stopped.
So what do you like about being a member of this? Because I know there's more options for like clubs and crews, particularly crews, than there were, especially when I started. So what attracted you to this crew in particular and has kept you there for what, 5 years now?
Yeah. Well, honestly, it was the people because I'm a naturally quiet person. So when I got there, I didn't really talk to a lot of people, but eventually, week after week, certain people started gravitating towards me, and then we started getting to know each other. And I think I'm kind of there now because of the relationships I've built, because I value those relationships, and it's something that we look forward to. I like coming to go see my friends on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Like we run, but it's more than just running at this point. Yeah. So that's kind of why.
What is the running scene like in LA? Are there a lot of clubs? Are clubs like competing? Are they closed? Is there a lot of like collaboration between crews?
Yeah, like there's a lot of run clubs, a lot of options. Especially now, any day of the week you can go to a different run club. Like at this point, Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, any day you can find a run club to go run with and feel safe. And that's what I like about LA. With me, I don't run too much outside of my run club because I have other things to do. And outside of running, like I have my business and I do things outside of those things as well. So I don't go to a lot of run clubs because I kind of like my schedule. I don't like to deviate too much outside of that. But there are options. So sometimes I will join other run clubs if they have like an event or a pop up run. But that's what I do like about LA because I have friends. They run every single run club, and that's their thing. And I don't knock them for it. But that's what I do like about being out here. There are options in different levels because some run clubs are more social based, and some run clubs are very, very competitive in terms of like trying to qualify for Boston. That's not my thing, but yeah.
I'm with you too. There are so many options out here, but I like to stick with my one crew. Not gonna see me in nobody else's shirt. Yeah, I'm a one crew gal too.
Yeah. I mean, some people, well, why don't you run with everyone else? Well, I mean, that's a choice. We all have choices. Running is even a choice to me. Like, we don't have to run. It's something like that's great for us, but we don't have to run. So being with Keeper 100 is my choice at the moment.
I get it. So what's up next for you? Do you have any upcoming races on your schedule?
I do. Right now I'm training for my 10th marathon. And so that'll be LA Marathon in March. And then a week after that, I'm running TSP with Keeper 100. And that's 340 miles from Santa Monica to Las Vegas. And so that's what I'm currently training for.
Wow. Yeah. So how many people are on your team for the speed project?
We have 10 people at the moment. And then a crew, the supporting crew. Yeah. Okay.
Are y'all going out there to win it? Or are you going out there to have fun for the experience?
Not to win, because we're not going to try to win. But definitely for the experience. I mean, a lot of people can't say that they've done this, and that's what I like about it, because it's invite only. So even if you apply to be a part of it, everyone isn't invited. And that's what I like about it as well, because we can say we've done this, and a lot of people can't say that. And I like the fact that it's challenging, because I love a challenge. And so I'm looking forward to that part of it as well. Yeah.
I'm wondering, because I followed them the last 2-3 years, and I don't know if I've ever seen like an all Black crew do that race before.
Yeah. Like, I don't think it's been, but our crew isn't all Black this year. So
majority.
I mean,
yeah, but
But yeah, honestly,
Majority
but
would be nice.
yeah. So I do like the fact that they are becoming more diverse because the Speak Part has been around like I think 8 years, and
Mm-hmm.
I think the last 2 years is when I've seen majority of diverse teams join, and I like that part about it too because running's for everyone.
Yeah, because I know, I mean, they haven't been around they've been around long enough, but it was pretty. I mean, that's with the sport of running, though. I know sometimes we
Yeah,
talk a lot about running being so white, but that's what long distance running was. You saw the black people
yeah,
on the track
yeah. Because I
going
mean,
fast.
like a lot of people that I've met over the years, a lot of them weren't runners before they
Mm-hmm.
joined like run clubs, and a lot of people became runners like well into their 30s. Like even me, I didn't start running until I was 31. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I was never an athlete, never played any sports, but I found something later in life that I actually like. And that's what I like about running because it's for everyone. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have a 20-year relationship with running to be a runner. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I really like about running.
Exactly. So I'm glad that you guys are doing this Be Proud. So I'm definitely going to tune in more closely this year to see, the happiness. So y'all have like the van and y'all the camper. How are y'all doing it?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have a van and an RV and then someone else trailing in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna get it done.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get it done.
So what has been keeping you motivated to run after? Because when I've started, a lot of people that I've started with, they're not around anymore. And,
Mhm.
once you get past the 5 year mark, it gets kind of like, what am I going to do next? So what keeps you motivated to, keep running after
Like
since you've
honestly,
been doing this, doing it?
even since I've started, a lot of people haven't been running. And I think what
Mm-hmm.
keeps me going is that I like within the first year I actually got injured. And so the year and a half, 2 years after that, I was like trying to rehab, trying to find my rhythm. And then I think maybe the last 2 years is when I was like, okay, I found my pace that works for me. I'm getting faster, much faster, because I had to get over that hump. And I think that's the beauty about running because it's not always perfect. Because
Mm-hmm.
I had a horrible injury with my back and my shoulders and like that whole area like affected my mental health as well. And then I had to get over that in order to like find my rhythm with running again or my relationship with running again. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why I'm still here because I found my sweet spot, so to speak, because I had to get over that hump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think right now I'm really excited because like I'm not running with pain. My injury is still there, but it's not like affecting me like it used to. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why I'm still able to have the energy that I have and the excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people stop too because they go so hard, they get into it and then those injuries
Yeah.
come and it's like, you
Yeah.
can't do it like you used to. So that's good that you were able to, recover through your injury and manage the pain and you're able to keep going.
Yeah. Because I think some people get injured and then they still try to go hard and they never
Mm-hmm.
are able to get over that hump. And like with me, I was taking my time. Like I wasn't very fast right after the injury. And I listened to the doctor. I did everything they wanted me to do. And then I was able to like find my rhythm.
Yeah. And then when people like talk about times and you're not doing this, I'm like, running doesn't pay the bills. Okay.
Listen,
I'm
okay?
not getting paid
Running
for
does
this. I'll
not
finish what I finish.
running does not pay my mortgage. Okay. I do this if I want to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
very much, yeah, I'm not that type of running. Like that's great for them, but I do this because I actually enjoy it. Like I'm not no one's paying me to do this. No one's like, I'm not obligated contractually to do anything. I just do everything because I really want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So I wanted to get into why I wanted to chat with you because you're a woman, you're a runner, and more importantly, you're an entrepreneur. You started this new business. So let's talk about Set the Tone. How did you come up with that name?
So honestly, I wanted a name that was relating to candles, but something that could like transition to other avenues. And initially I thought about like setting the mood because candles, when you burn a candle, you can like, relax or, have a really romantic situation, like different type of scenarios. And so set the tone is like setting the tone for whatever mood you're in or energy you want for yourself. And so that's why I came up with set the tone. Yeah.
And
Setting the tone, everything.
I like it. It has a ring to it. It's a name that you won't easily forget.
Yeah.
So what made you want to start a candle business?
So during the pandemic, um, I had a lot of downtime, like we all did. And I, because of my job, it's not very creative. I sit in the office every day. There's not really an outlet for creativity. And I wanted something that I could use to express myself outside of work, obviously. And so I was like, let me just do candles. And it was like a random thing. And I didn't tell anybody. Like I was going to run club, meeting up with people, but I never told anybody besides my sister. So I was literally playing around with scents, and it's like very much calculations in terms of how to get the right base for the candles. And I just taught myself during the pandemic, and then I shared it. And that was like scary because I was like, okay, what are people gonna think? No one knew that I was doing it. So everyone had questions like, okay, like where did this come from? I was like, well, I just wanted to do something. And creativity doesn't have to be linear, but I think a lot of people have this idea of a creator. I'm not that like the typical creator. I like to do things that are from start to finish all my own. And candle making was something that was a part of that. I did all my labels myself at home. Like I don't outsource anything. I make every candle by myself. I make all the labels. I created my logo. Like that was like a real release for me because it was something I've never been able to do. Yeah, and that got me excited about it too.
So what type of candles do you make?
I make soy wax candles, all natural. I don't use any dyes. Yeah, all natural candles.
Okay, so you make soy. Is there like what are the mass produced kind of candles? What are those made out of? And what's like the difference?
A lot of them aren't soy. A lot of them are they have like paraben like toxins, and I'm not with that. And a lot of times you go into like certain stores and the candles aren't very neat looking. Like you could tell somebody just slopped it together or a machine slopped it together, and they're not smooth. And the scent throw is not very well. Like you can't really smell it. Even picking up the candle, you can't really smell the same. And I really wanted mine to be different. I wanted to have calculations in terms of like the percentage of fragrance in each candle. I wanted to be able to smell it by just walking by. Like I took my time to figure out what I wanted. And yeah, I like what I did.
So you're a one woman show. You don't have any help from anyone else? You do
No.
the shipping, the packaging, all of that?
Yeah, I ship everything myself. I package everything myself. I have my vendors where I order like, my label, the blank labels, and I print all the labels at my house. Like, yeah, I don't know why I don't know why I took that route, but once I did that, I was like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. I just want to do it myself. Eventually, maybe I'll, expand, but right now I like doing it myself. I like being able to say I handmade this item and it's going. Like I like saying that. And people like the fact that I make them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the price point of the candles?
So I have some of them here. Like this is our 10 ounce.
I have one here too, y'all.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Of course. Gotta support.
The 10 ounce is $25. The 4 ounce, which you have, is $15. And then we have room sprays, and that's $13. And I also do body oil, but I don't really talk about that much. But yeah, all handmade by me.
Is the body oil on the website too?
It is. Yep. Little 2 ounce body oil.
Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know you did body oil. See, I learned something new today. So how is do you plan to add any other products to your line?
Eventually, like right now, I saw everything on the website. I do pop-ups every once in a while. These candles are actually in a store in LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I do have candles in the store, and so that takes a lot of like energy away from me. People can go to the store if you're local, pick up what you want. I just take everything there to restock whenever she needs it. And so that takes a lot of stress off of me sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, her store is called My BBB in the Crenshaw Mall. So that's where everything is at right now. Yeah, I like where I'm at the moment. I do want to expand. Like I would love to have like candles in like Target or some type of large retailer. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm very big on like taking my time with things. I don't want to rush anything. I just want everything to happen when it's supposed to happen, even with writing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
We always talk about like the great things that are happening and we put the good stuff on Instagram, but we rarely talk about, when things go wrong behind the scenes. So what has like been the most difficult part about starting your own business that maybe, we don't know about?
Honestly, the marketing
Mm.
and um like I said it before, like I'm like a solid introvert. Like I don't not really big on like public speaking and like talking about everything. And that is like one of my shortcomings in terms of this business because I don't really talk
Mhm.
about it. And people either know it or you don't type of thing. And so that's where the marketing comes into play because if I don't want to put myself on camera and post things like that, how are
Mhm.
people supposed to know about it? So that's been one of my shortcomings in terms of like marketing because I could do so much more if I would just put myself out there. But
You got a post, girl. I think I
yeah.
bought your candles. I think you posted maybe Black Friday.
Hmm.
I think that's probably when I saw it. But yeah, you got to promote yourself because if we don't put ourselves out there, like who
Yeah.
else is going to do it?
Right. Yeah. So that's really been my biggest like yeah, that is my biggest shortcoming with this business because when I do talk about it, people buy. And but like the thing is I don't really do this for money. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was very much like a passion project and it just became it's been almost it was over 2 years at this point. It's become more than what I thought it was gonna be. I just thought it was gonna be like something small and now like it's bigger and I do like candle making workshops, like it's become more than what I expected it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that part about it because it's just growing organically because even with the candle making workshops, that was never a part of my plan. But people
Mm-hmm.
started asking me, "Oh, can you teach us how to make candles?" So now I do those as well. So it's growing. Not probably not as fast as people expected, but it is growing, and I'm okay with the process.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah,
how do you feel like support wise? Is like your community, your running community, your family, friends? Do you feel like people are supporting you
yeah,
in a
yeah.
positive way?
Mhm. Yeah, I do appreciate the feedback because my friends do give me feedback. My family do as well. So, and that's allowed me to scale up because like even with certain scents, people have suggested, or I let people test them out before I release things. So that is the good part about what I'm doing right now because I do get positive feedback and constructive criticism on occasion,
Mm-hmm.
but I need that. So that's helped me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how do you find it hard like to juggle life, to juggle your running, to juggle running a small business? How do you handle it all and make it work?
Honestly, sometimes I don't handle it very well because it,
Mm-hmm.
it is a lot. I mean, it is a lot to work full time and then find time to pour into yourself and then also pour into a business that you want to grow and then realizing there's only 24 hours in a day. Like it can be a lot and it is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And people always ask me, okay, how do you do it? I tell them I don't know. I'm just doing it. Like sometimes I don't think about it because if I do, I'll get overwhelmed. Because I do get overwhelmed. I don't really talk about getting overwhelmed by everything that I'm doing, but it can be a lot. Sometimes I gotta just shut it all down, and I need a day, and I do that. I just don't tell people. I just, you know, I shut things down.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
where do you see the future of Scent the Tone? Like in the next 2, 5, 10 years, where do you see the company going?
Honestly, if things go the way I would prefer, I would love to have a retail store where I can host candle making workshops any day of the week in that location and then sell the candles, host pop-ups in that store. That's really what I do want to do eventually, but I would have to figure out where I want to go in terms of my career because right now, since it's on, I don't rely on that financially, like in no way, because
Mm-hmm.
no
Mm-hmm.
way. Right now, it's very much a passion project still, but I would love to scale up eventually and pour my time all into this. But right now, I'm okay with where it is. But eventually, that is where I want to be. I want my own retail space where I can do candle making workshops any time of the day. And only because people have asked me to do candle making workshops, but finding the space and then coming financially, it doesn't always make sense to candle making workshops. So I would
Mm-hmm.
rather have my own space instead of going to someone else's space. Yeah. So I think that's where I really want to get to eventually, have my own retail space.
I want to see you posting more about the company.
And that's what I am going to work on.
Post
Honestly.
about the company. Instagram lets you schedule posts now. So just set the post up
Yeah.
or post them to your stories every week, once a week, post it to your story with a link to buy. Cause everyone's not like, I don't go through Instagram like I used to. I don't have the patience anymore and I just can't be bothered. But that one
Yeah.
day I do hit it, I'm scrolling and I hit that shop button. If something comes up, especially if it's from someone like you and I want to support. And there's plenty of people out there like me who just want to support, other
Yeah.
people that are doing great things. So yeah, post your stuff. We want to buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. I will. That's one of my things that for this year, that's what I am going to work on.
Get it out there. So let's get back to running. I know you have a couple majors under your belt.
I
How many
do
majors have you done?
3.
3. Do you plan on doing the full 6?
Honestly, I would love to, but
Uh-huh.
I still have for Tokyo, Boston, and London.
Mm-hmm.
Those 3 left that I have to do. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I didn't get into Tokyo. I applied, but I didn't get in. And I don't want to go. Honestly, I don't want to go the fundraising route. I did that for New York and it was stressful. So I didn't want to do that again.
Well, Tokyo, you have to pay it yourself. It's like one flat fee,
Oh,
but it's like only like a small window to do it, like days. Like you have to pick a
mm,
charity and they let you know if you got in. And, it was actually this year was like a lottery. Like the minimum was like $700, but you bid and then the charity, picked the runners, but they chose everyone this year. But yeah,
mm,
yeah, next time it comes around, if you want to go, you got to just do it.
yeah, right.
Go for it.
Definitely. Yes. So that's what I want to do. Maybe next year.
Yeah, do it. London is harder because no one gets in the lottery on London. You really have to do charity to get into London.
Yeah. Like I know someone who's currently fundraising for London. I didn't feel like doing that again.
It's hard work, man, begging for that money every week.
Honestly, it really is. It
It's
really,
like
really.
another job. I've done it. It's another job,
Yeah.
trying to fundraise for these races. But, when you expand your network and people know who you are, they want to help you out and help you achieve
Yeah.
those goals. So I will be looking out for your fundraising efforts and I will send some coins your way. All right. So I want to thank Angel for being on the Runway podcast. It was a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you.
So let us know where we can find you on Instagram or any of your socials.
Yeah. So I'm on Instagram, 26.2 Angel, and then Set the Tone, straightforward, one word. And then sentetone.com is where the website is. You can find all my products. And yeah.
Perfect. So I'm going to leave all of Angel's information in the show notes. It'll be on the website as well. So you can follow her, support your fellow runners, because if we don't support each other, who else will? Right? Exactly. So thank you again for being on the show. And that's it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. I hope you enjoyed my chat with Angel. Be sure to follow her on Instagram and her business Set the Tone. I will leave all of her links in the show notes, and they'll be on my website as well. So make sure you give her a follow and support your fellow runner. If we don't support each other, who else will? I know I've said that over and over and over again, but anytime you see a runner branching out, creating a new stream of income, becoming an entrepreneur, we have to support each other, because that's only going to make all of us better and make each of us grow. So thank you again for tuning in to this episode of the show, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Runwave. If you are a runner that has a story to tell, feel free to email hello@therunwave.com or shoot me a DM on Instagram @therunwave. Don't forget to follow The Runwave on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We are The Runwave on all platforms. Subscribe to our email list. It is listed down below in the notes of this show. And subscribe to The Runwave on YouTube. The visual episode of this show will be posted there.